How's it going, fight fans? Welcome to mindforcombat. If you're new to the channel, my name's Rohan. It's my platform where I do MMA and boxing related content, and for this video I'm going to be breaking down the upcoming main event lightweight fight, which is an absolute dream fight for most MMA fans, hardcore or casual, and that's between Donal Cerrone and Justin Gaethje, and I just cannot wait for this fight. This is a fight that really has a lot of repercussions as well, because I think the winner of this fight isn't too far out of the title picture, especially with things playing out, particularly with Justin Gaethje being on the back-to-back wins, and with Donal Cerrone's popularity. You know, a main event win against a guy like Justin Gaethje boosts him right back to where he was before he lost to Tony Ferguson. Obviously, the lightweight division is a crowded division, but it's not one that's super crowded in the top 3, 4. And, you know, there's a few guys, it's pretty clear. Dustin's going to fight for the title. After that, there's Tony Ferguson. And a winner of this fight could potentially be looking to fight Conor McGregor to set up the next #1 contender after the Tony Ferguson situation plays out. So this is a really key and important fight. Coming into this fight, Donal Cerrone, like I said, he's coming off the loss to Tony Ferguson. And it's a loss that he's going to no doubt want to shake off and get back onto his winning ways. He is a winning fighter, and he's been around for a long time with the one accolade missing from his legendary resume, which is a UFC world title. So he needs to win this if he's ever going to get it. And he fights Justin Gaethje, the former World Series of Fighting world champion, who's an absolute beast and, you know, absolute lover of carnage. He's a guy who thrives in the violence. This is what he loves to do. There's no other job in the world that Justin Gaethje could have been doing. The dude's an absolute maniac, and this is a dream fight for both him and Donal Cerrone, for how they're going to mesh up in style, and I just cannot wait. So let's go through the tail of the tape and break this fight down. So Donal Cerrone is 36 years old coming into this fight, which makes him 6 years older than Justin Gaethje. Donal Cerrone has also had about 48 professional mixed martial arts fights, and to add to about 30 professional kickboxing fights. When you consider the fact that Donal Cerrone has been in so many wars, been around for a long time, even his last fight with Tony Ferguson was a war. You know, he's been the war with Nate Diaz, tons and tons of wars. You know, if I start going through it, the Quinton fight was a tough fight. He's had so many tough fights to add with training, injuries, being the wild man he is. You got to wonder, is he aging? Is this going to start impacting him? And he fights Justin Gaethje at 30 years old, despite the fact that he's been in crazy wars as well. It's still a young man in his physical prime, so that is a bit of a difference that bears witnessing. Like I said, Donal Cerrone comes into this fight with a record of 36 wins and 12 losses. He's had 38 professional fights, and he fights Justin Gaethje, who's got a record of 20 wins and 2 losses. Now, whilst Donal Cerrone is vastly more experienced under the UFC umbrella, that doesn't mean that Justin Gaethje doesn't have big fight experience. He's fought Madison Square Garden as part of the World Series of Fighting card, which had like 3 world title fights on it. Justin Gaethje is a guy who's been in the front line, the headlines. He's been practically all main events since he's been in the UFC. So in terms of experience-wise as well, these both are there or thereabouts, you know what I mean. Donal Cerrone is a little bit taller than Justin Gaethje. I believe he's 2 inches taller than him. He stands at 6'1". Justin Gaethje stands at 5'11". Bit of a difference there. And Donal Cerrone will have a little bit of a reach advantage as well, with a 73-inch reach, as compared to Justin Gaethje's 72-inch reach. So that's something that bears, 71-inch reach. So he's going to have a bit of a 2-inch reach advantage then. No doubt that Donal Cerrone is going to be looking to utilise that. And when you add in his kicks as well, I don't know what their leg reaches are, but when you add in the fact that Donal Cerrone is going to want to use his kicks in this fight, there's some distance for him to play with, and that's something that Justin Gaethje is going to have to get around. Donal Cerrone has that Muay Thai fighting style. He's got great submissions off his back. He's got great wrestling, underrated wrestling, and he's a really talented fighter. But he's going to come out there look to strike. He's got, you know, clean leg kicks. He's got great kicks. That front leg head kick is pretty damn devastating. He's got good clean boxing. Justin Gaethje, he's a pressure striker now. He's an all-American wrestler, and I said he will look to use his wrestling. But if his last 2 fights with James Vick and Edson Barboza are any indication, he's going to stick with his pressure wrestling style. He loves to get in your face. He loves to make it a crazy brawl, which what makes him a fan favourite, which what makes him the highlight. And no doubt he's going to be looking to implement his pressure fighting style, and you know, that's actually been a weakness of Donal Cerrone's throughout his career. That's something that we can discuss a little bit more. So let's look at some of the key wins and how that may factor into this fight. So when we're looking at Justin Gaethje first, obviously you've got to give some respect to his World Series of Fighting resume as well. He's beaten the likes of Luis Palomino and Luis Firmino, who are both very talented and respected lightweight fighters that have been fighting around for a long time. He obviously fought Melvin Gallard back in the day as well, when he still had some relevance actually going into that fight. Melvin Gallard famously said, "I'm an A-League fighter and Justin Gaethje is a B-League fighter." So what does that tell you? That's pretty funny, right? Anyways, aside from that, he's beaten Michael Johnson, who's a very credible, talented lightweight fighter. And like I said, he's just taken out James Vick, who was on a 4-fight win streak at the time, making a whole heap of noise. And he knocked out Edson Barboza, who's a perennial top 5 contender in the lightweight division for a long time. So that's a good ledger. Don Cerrone has a pretty incredible ledger when you look at it and you start going through it. Being with the World Series of Fighting, of course, he's had them tough fights with Benson Henderson. He's got tons of fights that he's lost as well that are key fights as well. But anyway, some of his key wins are guys like Charles the Bronx Oliveira, who's on a 5-fight win streak now. That matters. Jeremy Little Heathen Steven, who's been around at lightweight and featherweight for a long time. He's beaten Edson Barboza himself back when Edson Barboza was a little bit fresher. He beat Jim Miller in the main event when Jim Miller was a little bit fresher as well. He's beaten Eddie Alvarez, who then went on to win the world title. He's beaten the likes of Benson Henderson to revenge those 2 losses that he had on his career. He's beaten Ali Quinta more recently in the main event, where a fight I thought he was going to lose. He's also beaten Alexander Hernandez and derailed his hype train from kicking off up at welterweight. He also beat Mike Platinum Perry, who's a dangerous fighter all round, so that's a good win. The issues. For Don Cerrone coming into this fight, his issue is definitely going to be his wear and tear. He's been in 48 professional fights, had tons of wars, had that tough fight with Tony Ferguson. How does he do in this fight with Justin Gaethje? Well, it's something that bears witnessing. And for Justin Gaethje, his issue in this fight is going to be his willingness to engage in the balls. He is hittable, and being hittable in those wars against a pinpoint striker and knockout artist like Don Cerrone is a dangerous place to be. And actually, you never know how this fight could turn out. And if he leaves himself too open, no doubt Don Cerrone is going to take advantage of that, and that might be his key to victory. For Don Cerrone, his X factor is going to be his experience in this fight. X factor, key to victory, whatever you want to call it, but it's going to be his experience in this fight and his well-rounded game. He's dangerous everywhere. He's dangerous on the feet, so if Justin Gaethje makes a mistake, he'll get clocked, and if he takes him down, Don Cerrone can just submit him. So he's a very talented fighter. For Justin Gaethje, his X factor and path to victory is going to lie in his pressure. Don Cerrone struggled with pressure fighters previously, so his pressure is going to be key in this fight, and he carries a lot of punching power as well. We've seen him finish a lot of good fighters, so he could very well finish Don Cerrone in this fight, so that's something that bears witnessing. Let's get into my prediction now. So, how do I think this fight's going to play out? I think this fight's going to play out on defeat. Don Cerrone's got good enough wrestling to keep it standing if Justin Gaethje does go for a takedown, and I don't think Justin Gaethje will go for a takedown. I think he's going to want to come out there, get in Don Cerrone's fight, and get to a brawl. Now, that being said, Don Cerrone has got the ability to piece up Justin Gaethje on defeat. The issue that Don Cerrone has in this fight, and it's the issue that he has in every fight, and it's why I picked Tony Ferguson to beat him, is that he struggles with pressure. Good boxers that can land punches on him tend to do well against him, and guys that will pressure him and stay in his face tend to make him will. I'm not calling him a quitter, I'm saying that he has quit previously, in my opinion. Now, I feel like Justin Gaethje is going to come out there in this fight, get straight in Don Cerrone's face. That doesn't mean Don Cerrone is not going to have opportunities to win this fight. Like I mentioned earlier, Gaethje is hittable, Don Cerrone hits hard, he's a finisher. So now, how does this fight play out? I think that Don Cerrone and Justin Gaethje are going to get into a striking fight. Don Cerrone is going to have tons and tons of moments early, leg kicks, body kicks, head kicks, whatever you want to say. His punches are not so devastating, but his kicks are. Justin Gaethje will be in his face landing punches. Now, his pressure will keep Don Cerrone in trouble. He has a good enough chin and is durable enough that he will be able to survive the early rounds with Don Cerrone, and as the fight wears on, I believe that Don Cerrone will begin to wilt under the pressure of Justin Gaethje, at which point Justin Gaethje will begin to take over. I'm predicting that Justin Gaethje will finish this fight in round 3 or 4 with a TKO. So guys, for my official prediction, I'm going with Justin Gaethje with a TKO in rounds 3 or 4 to get the win, and then move on to potentially fight Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor said he was about to fight him in his last fight, so that's going to be excellent, and I'm really excited to see how that plays out. So fight fans, let me know what's your prediction. How do you see the fight going? Comment below with your predictions. Let me know who you think is going to win this fight, and what do you think is next for the winner. I'm really looking forward to this fight. I have no doubt you are. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. I'm Rohan. This is Mindful Combat. Thank you.